of basically understanding the different steps in the use of Citrix, like understanding how long it takes for people to log in, how the authentication process is taking time for users, how long it takes to actually for people to actually launch a new resource, a desktop or an application, how many new connections we've got, what drives the performance of the delivery agents in Citrix. So basically when you connect to a desktop, the server has got this impact on the performance of your desktop and how fast you get it, but also the data transfer over the network. And understanding what Citrix uses, how Citrix uses bandwidth, for example, over your network will probably help you optimize how Citrix is performing across wide area networks. So if we want to dive in further, we can connect to more details on Citrix, and you would see that we see login times, we see launch times, we can track the abort rate, so how many times users are trying to load a Citrix resource and it fails. And you can also see what performance you get user group by user group. So you figure out exactly who's impacted by what. And here you would see the different Citrix servers, and you can figure out quickly which are the Citrix servers that are providing, for example, long logins or long launch times, and actually pinpoint where your Citrix administrator would have to look into, either on the authentication side or on the resources that are provided for the delivery agents. If you want to look at Citrix from a network point of view, you can figure out exactly what type of channels, so screen updates, keyboard strokes, mouse moves, printing, are taking from a bandwidth point of view, how well they are compressed, how they could be optimized, and how that can slow down. And when you look at specific users, you can actually figure out what's driving the performance. If it's the performance of the Citrix users, of the Citrix servers, if it's the transfer of the data in red or pink, how fast it's failing, and you can get that down to a published application and a username. So basically, what does it mean? It means that you can actually drill down to Sergio connecting using Word, for example, and know exactly what performance he had, and then look at the performance of the delivery agents back to your data center in the next hops. Okay? So these would be just samples. There could be thousands of it. We can customize that based on your requirements or your pain points or your blind spots or whichever example you'd like us to address. We can go back to the booth and actually provide you with more examples. Do you have any questions after that first set of examples?
How do you get all this data, and what's the performance impact of gathering?
That's a very good question. I mean, it's actually quite simple. The main source of data for us is a copy of your production traffic. So basically, we receive just a copy of your traffic provided by your switches, physical or virtual. And from there, we actually analyze all the conversation at the different layers, so really the network layer up to the application layer. And we measure different times to figure out exactly what is the performance at the network layer up to the application layer, to track errors, to track queries, etc. And that can be done both in physical and virtual environments. But it's a purely passive approach. So basically, we don't touch any of your systems. We don't need to have an agent on the end user side, nor on the server side. We don't need to sit in the middle and see the traffic going through. We just receive a copy. So it's totally non-intrusive. What does it mean? It means that if you implement an appliance like that, physical, virtual, from the time you actually feed it with that, you get